Good evening. It's Sunday, October 29th, 2023. And we had to do a quick little jump cut there as I was having a bit of a coughing fit. At any rate, we try to get straightened up here. Got a few birthdays to talk about and a few events. On this day in 1995 at Phoenix, Ricky Rudd wins his only race of that season, continuing a streak of winning at least one race per season, dating all the way back to 1983. Of course, he would continue this through 1989 or 1998, with 1999 being his only winless season. After, well, he'd have 2000 as well, but 1999 would be the first winless season he would have prior to 1983. 2004 on this date, Martin Truex Jr. wins the IROC race at Atlanta for his first win in that series. Of course, on yesterday's, he won the last race ever in the IROC series. So pretty cool there. He won the last two races at Atlanta in IROC. And on this day, 1 year ago today at Martinsville, Ty Gibbs wins the Xfinity Series race in controversial fashion, taking out his teammate in the very last lap. So we got several birthdays to talk about real quick. We're going to rapid fire through them. Born on this day in 1958, Teresa Earnhardt. She was a car owner, technically, in the Busch Series and later Cup Series as part of DEI, and then part of Earnhardt Ganassi Racing. Not sure about her whereabouts and business interests and such today. I have a 91 Tracks card of her somewhere, but I just couldn't find it. Also, born on this day in 1980, Stedman Marlin, third-generation racer. He raced briefly in the Xfinity, Busch, Nationwide, whatever series. Made a handful of starts, but didn't have the career that his father or grandfather had. So, born on this day in 1919, passed away sadly in 2004. Papa Joe Hendrick. Supposed to be the father of Rick Hendrick, grandfather of Ricky Hendrick, and technically for a long time listed as the owner of the 25 car. So that'd be Papa Joe Hendrick. Also born on this day in 1996, he'll be full-time next year in the Truck Series, Mr. Bailey Curry. I just pulled out a few cards of his because I didn't want to go crazy because they're all just mostly all parallels. So, and I still can't think of the name of that 41 team. So I apologize for that. I should have looked it up and then it would have stuck with me. Nice Motorsports, that's what it is. I'm sorry, Nice Motorsports. Okay, the name just popped in my head. So he'll be running full-time next year with Nice Motorsports. That should be good. Born on this day in 1998, current F1 driver Lance Stroll. So a couple of Topps cards that either I picked up in a break on Danny's channel or I've picked up in something from somewhere. Go down the list here. And our final birthday, born on this day in 1992, he is a former Xfinity Series champion, and he is a playoff driver for this year, and he did make the playoffs once before in 2016 during his rookie season. It'd be Mr. Chris Buescher. Now, you see we got a 2015 card here. I think he's got one the year before. This is when he was in the Nationwide Series. Look how young he looks there. So, Panini will want you to think this is his rookie card. This isn't even his rookie card. So, of course, he went to Front Row through a relationship with Roush Racing. So, he was on loan to Front Row from Roush. Then, after a couple years there, then he went to JTG Doherty. Yes, he went to a Chevy team. He was a Ford contracted driver on loan from Roush, on loan from Front Row, because Front Row had no room at the inn. Then he eventually did go back to Roush. Of course, we got the cards out of order here. No big deal there. But he had some good runs at JTG. And, of course, he went over to Roush, now at Roush Fenway, where he's won 4 races, 3 this year, 1 last year. So there's that 17. Fastenal being one of the sponsors. There's the JTG card. Of course, JTG Doherty seems to have a lot of sponsorships through their partnership with Kroger and all their vendors and associates. And just one of those things that, you know, a lot of teams talk about sponsorship. And I think JTG does it right. They've got, you know, one big company and they're able to feed some other companies airtime. And you look at some of the Xfinity Series teams, and a couple that come to mind is like Ryan Sieg and Jeremy Clements. Yeah, I know they're mid-pack teams, but their cars are funded every race. They have sponsors on their car every race. Now, yeah, they probably don't get the money they'd like to have, but they get the money that they can operate with. And I think if some of these other bigger teams would look at that and say, hey, we don't need $18 million when we can get by on 7, 8, or 9 or whatever. I'm just throwing numbers out there. I don't know what these budgets are of these teams. Are they going to be as competitive? Maybe not right up front, but you work towards it. So anyway, just my little soapbox there, talking about finances and such. But anyway, sorry that this is coming at you a little bit later than normal. I was watching the Martinsville race, and I decided to go ahead and get this out of the way before the evening ended. So hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we will see you tomorrow. Remember, it's Mailbag Monday. More hero cards. Thanks for watching.